So often when we have our vision, we see our vision, we know where we're going, it can still be hard to get there, to take those steps. And this is because it is so easy to get caught up in the overwhelm, especially when we have a big vision, or maybe we're changing a pattern. We know what we need to do to create this shift, but we're not doing it. And it feels big to shift this pattern that you've been doing your whole life, right? That is normal. And something I have really been working with, this is what I coach my clients through, and sometimes we all forget, definitely forgot in this last chapter, is about taking one inspired, aligned step at a time. That's it. We don't have to see the structure, see the entire stairwell. We don't have to have mapped out the entire process of how we're gonna get there, because it's really hard to know. And things change, things morph over time. We just have to be present and take one aligned step today, one inspired action that's gonna move you to a new pattern, a new way of being, that's gonna move you towards your vision. And sometimes it can be so helpful to put our heads down, not always be looking up at the progress and see what's happening. It can be really helpful to, if you're a swimmer, put your head down and take one stroke at a time and go for a month with your head down, taking one aligned step, one inspired action, one step, one action. That's it. And at the end of that month, put your head up and look, see how far you've come. And sometimes we need to do that. We need to stop looking around at what everyone else is doing, see if we're making progress. The journey is not linear. So we take steps forward some days, and some days we take half a step back. Doesn't mean you're not progressing. It's just half a step back to take 3 steps forward the next week, right? It's a journey, it is not linear. And so when we're analyzing every single step, it can be discouraging sometimes. And so sometimes it's helpful to just block everything out, be present, right? Because when I am in the future, worrying about how I'm gonna get there, worrying about future problems that haven't arisen, or if I'm in the past, shackled to how things haven't worked before, how I've failed before, it's really hard to connect to your inspired action. So what is a practice you can do to drop into the 0 point, right? The 0 point is right here, right now, in this exact moment, so that we are not constrained from the past, and we are not constrained from future worries, fears, things that haven't even happened. But how can you be here and connected to your heart, to your soul, to feel that joyful next action, that inspired next step? You know, for some of us, that's a meditation. That's a deep breathwork session that just drops you into the presence. Maybe it's petting your kitty cat. Maybe it's having a dance, putting music on, getting into your body, a yoga session, a walk on the beach. But having a ritual before you start working on your business, before you start doing your daily tasks, so that you can drop into the presence and feel in your body, what are you excited to do today? And when we allow ourselves to follow our excitement, follow our joy, and take one aligned, inspired step, we get there so much faster. And we don't have to see the whole thing, and that's what stops us. And I get caught in this too. I feel overwhelmed. How am I gonna reach this big vision? I can feel it, and I'm not there yet. That's okay. Let me be here. Let me enjoy being here. Let me enjoy the journey and take one inspired step. And that's what's gonna get me there. Or if I'm shifting a pattern, right? And I'm like, it's so hard to shift this thing that I've been doing my whole life. And it feels so far away from the pattern I wanna shift into, to replace it with. That's okay. What's one small action, one small step that I can take today to shift this pattern? That's how we change. It's not these big giant leaps. It is the tiny small actions, the ways we can intentionally, to be intentional, we have to be present. When I am present, I can make intentional choices, and it's about choosing, not reacting, right? When I'm unconscious, I react, and it's usually not the type of reaction my conscious self would choose. So being present to make intentional choices and to show up one step each day. That's it. So I know we love to overcomplicate things. I also love to overcomplicate things. And lately I have really been leaning into one inspired action, one inspired step each day, and cheering myself on as I do it.